What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to chat about those McDonald's promos. Yeah, that's right. You know those promos I told you that were coming from McDonald's for One Piece? And then they kind of got shelved for a little bit? Well, they're back. We're getting them. And frankly, it's about the best case scenario. There was some very irresponsible reporting I saw from some people about this particular promotion, saying that it had been cancelled. That wasn't true. It was never said to be cancelled. The official statement that One Piece and McDonald's gave out was that they're essentially suspending it, that they've paused it. They never said cancelled. And also that it was because of what happened when the McDonald's Pikachu was released. Now, there's a very good chance that it was because of what happened when the Pokemon Pikachu McDonald's promotion happened. That might actually be the reason why it was suspended, but that's not the point. The actual word they used was postponed, not cancelled. And they never said it was because of the Pokemon promotion, even though there's a very good chance that it actually was because of the Pokemon promotion. They never said that, and we shouldn't be reporting that they did if they actually didn't. Once again, be very careful where you get your news from. Well, the news this morning is far more positive, far better, far happier, because those 6 cars are being distributed. It's happening. It's lovely. You see, we've actually got 2 different ways that they're being given out, and they're not being given out in McDonald's. You see, we got 2 different distribution methods. Distribution method 1 is a commemorative gift for participating in tournaments from October the 17th to November the 30th, and half of the cards are going to be available. Tony, Chopper, Shanks, and Sabo. Don't worry, I've translated the cards. I'll tell you what they do in a moment. And these 3 are being given out at Standard Battle and Official Event during the time frame I just told you. During that same time frame, we have got Event Distribution Pack B, which is your Nami, your Ace, and your Luffy. And they are being given out at networking events, Official Shop networking event and teaching event, Flagship Battle, 8-Pack Battle, Parent-Child Matching Battle, and Metal Obi Weekend. To put it another way, the more serious tournaments are giving away Chopper, Shanks, and Sabo. And then the more casual tournaments are giving away Nami, Ace, and Luffy. That is happening. That is awesome. What if you can't get to those tournaments? Well, wonderful news, because there is a second distribution method happening from the 17th of October. And that is giving away all 6 of them. And you get 1 free pack for every 1,500 yen that are spent in stores during the time frame. Oh. Yeah, that sounds pretty good now, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So we have 2 different distribution methods. 1 for buying cards and 1 for turning up to tournaments, not for going to McDonald's. I love things like McDonald's promos. I think they're really fun. The idea of going along and buying food and then, oh look, now you also get yourself some promos. I think it's a really nice way to do promos. I think it's lovely, and I'm an absolute sucker for promos. I will import magazines. I will go to events. If you tell me there's a cool promo on offer, I will do almost anything you ask me to. I love me some promos. But the reality is, we have a situation nowadays where people just aren't behaving. When we have promos like this being given away in places like McDonald's, people aren't behaving, they aren't being good, it's causing an awful lot of problems, and that's leading places to, well, rethink how they do stuff. You know, this was a picture that was shared after the McDonald's Pokemon promotion, and basically people were just buying loads of food to get the promo and then just dumping the food, which looks really bad. But then you remember that in Japan, they literally don't have bins on the street in most places, with an expectation that you will take your rubbish home and bin it at home. And you realise that culturally Japan is very different to places like US and Europe, and this picture looks even worse. TCG fans brought this on themselves, but the cards are being distributed, and that at least is pretty nice. So we have these 6 promos. What have we got? Well, we've got a Tony Chopper coming along with rather redonkulous artwork by So-So, not the first So-So Tony Chopper. Remember that alternate art Tony Chopper? Yeah, that was So-So. That was awesome. Well, what we got from Tony Chopper here is we've got a blocker, 4 cost 5k, counter plus 1,000 blocker, and on play, give your leader Arrested Don. Oh, cool. That's honestly pretty nice. I mean, it's a 4 cost 5k, but you get one of those Don right back, which is kind of a win, because you get to attach it to your leader, so you get to use it, which is cool. And then we got a blocker as well. Add that all up, we're looking pretty good. We've got ourselves a Shanks, 8 cost 10k. This is a big boy Shanks, quite frankly. And if either you or your opponent has 10 Don, either will do. This character cannot be removed from the field by your opponent's effects. Now, what's really important here is the wording. It cannot leave the field or removed from the field. So basically that means being KO'd, being trashed, being returned to hand, being returned to deck. However it ends up happening, it doesn't work. So if it can't be KO'd, you can trash it. If it can't be trashed, you can return it to hand, etc. This stops all of that. That's actually kind of cool, and we like it. 8 cost, 10k. And look, a lot of the time, against non-purple decks, your opponent is going to have 10 Don from like turn 5 or 6 anyway. Purple decks, you're often going to struggle to stay at 10 Don because of all the Don minusing effects. I get ya. But then by the same token, a lot of the time your opponent will be at 10 Don, so you should be fine. In a purple mirror match, you could be in a bit of an issue though. Now we got ourselves a Sabo here. If your leader is Revolutionary Army, it's 4 cost 6k, I should say, no counter. And if your leader is Revolutionary Army, you get blocker and plus 4 cost. Very important for things like Leader Koala, for instance, whose skill kicks in when you've got enough characters with 8 cost. And there's other stuff Revolutionary Army has along those lines as well. So, yeah. Having a bunch of 8 cost characters is pretty important. Being able to cheat 4 cost up to 8 cost helps massively. We've then got on play, you can add the top or bottom card of your life to your hand. Nice to have the option there, because, you know, you might end up knowing what's on the top of your life and not wanting to move it. And then you get to give a Rested Don to your leader, or one of your characters. Oh, cool. Now this one, it's not quite just, oh, you can look at it and say it's a free cost. It's not that, because you've also got to add a life to your hand, which is a bit of a downside. But there are reasons to go behind on life sometimes. It gives you card advantage. Then you get Arrested Don and you've got yourself a blocker. Again, reasons to be happy about this. And that's another thing we need to point out here. These cards are pretty good, some of them. We do not want good, mechanically exclusive cards to be made available in places like McDonald's. That's not a good thing. Now, what we've got from Nami here, 4 cost 4k, counter plus 2,000. And if your leader is Straw Hat, then activate 2 Don. Oh. Yeah. That's really good. Like, am I the only one looking at this thinking, actually, that's really, really good? You got 2k counter, which is always a massive bonus. But if your leader is Straw Hat, then on play, you just set 2 of your Don to active. That's phenomenal. It's essentially a 2 cost. Now, it's another one of those where it is functionally a 2 cost. You have to have 4 Don to use it. But then you play this, you rest 4 Don, then you immediately activate 2 of your Don and you're only down 2 Don, and you've got a 4k body on the board, or you've got a counter plus 2k. Yeah, and we have a really good green Straw Hat Luffy, the one from EBO2, and we know there's going to be more Straw Hat in the future. This strikes me as a very, very nice card. And essentially 2 cost 4k body, or counter plus 2,000. That's a win for me. Now we got an ace, and I've been talking a lot about blue Whitebeard pirates lately, and let's not forget the OP13 Ace is proving to be a very, very high level deck over in Japan right now. So, yeah, this is going to be something that we're going to be looking at a lot, by which I mean Blue Whitebeard Pirates. And we got 4 cost, 6k, and on play, draw 2 cards. Nice. And then you got to put 2 cards from your hand on the top or bottom of your deck. Oh, okay. That's all right. Because we know that there are Whitebeard cards that want you to have a particular card on top of your deck, like having a Whitebeard card stacked on top. So that's not too bad. And then give a Rested Dawn to your leader. So again, this one becomes functionally a free cost because you get one of the Dawn immediately back to attach to your leader. And actually, yeah, you draw 2, and then you stack your deck, and you don't end up with any more cards, but you do end up seeing more cards and having more options, which is great. Then you get to stack your deck a little bit, which is awesome. And then you get to give a Rested Dawn to your leader. No counter here, but still an awful lot to like. And then finally, Luffy is 5 cost 6k, counter plus 1,000. And at the end of your turn, you may turn the top card of your life face up and then set one of your Egghead characters active. Nice. That's really good. Set a blocker to active so it can block on your opponent's turn. Or set a character to active so they're not a valid target to be attacked next turn. That seems good, ladies and gentlemen. That seems very, very good. You do have to set the top card of your life face up, and if it's already face up, you can't do this. But that's not normally a huge issue. I think you're going to be okay. We've then got a trigger, draw a card, and then KO one of your opponent's 2 cost or lower characters. Oh, nice. That's actually pretty nice. It is worth noting it is 2 cost or lower. It doesn't say original cost, so you absolutely could potentially bring down a cost here and then go ahead and KO them, and you would be good. These promos look good. Some of them look extremely playable. I think getting them being given out in McDonald's was probably going to end up being a bad thing. Well, now they're not being given out in McDonald's. They're being given out either at tournaments, great way to give away promos, or buying product in stores, great way to give away promos. And actually, yeah, this seems pretty gosh darn good. I'm a fan, but I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.